What I thought was interesting, the narrative after the defeat against Crystal Palace, Mark, was the fact that this is why Woodward needs to pull his finger out and bring in new players, as opposed to analysing the players that were actually on the pitch. And overall, the stand of Manchester United's team is so much higher than Crystal Palace, yet he seemed to get a pass for some reason, which I didn't quite get.
Yeah, that's because, Man United always make big promises during the early part of the window, and then when it comes to the end of it, they haven't delivered on those promises, and the fans get frustrated, and they look at the team thinking that they could be so much better. So I think the manager will always get a pass when Ed Woodward was in charge. I mean, Ed Woodward now I don't think he'll ever be able to turn the fans around, because it's the same story every summer. They underdeliver, they overpromise and underdeliver, and we're seeing it again. 10 days to go to the window shuts, and they signed one player, and the big target, Jadon Sancho, is nowhere near coming along, and they haven't signed a centre half. They're looking at a left back. That's why the fans turn on the board, because they feel they let the manager down.
But it's not... right, here's my point. How many of those Crystal Palace starting 11 will get into the Manchester United team that started at Old Trafford at the weekend? Maybe one or two. So surely this isn't just about personnel. This is about coaching and getting the best out of these players, which Ole clearly, and I know it's only one game, but we have seen it quite a bit, haven't we, over last season as well. There doesn't just seem to be a tactical plan in place to get the best out of these Manchester United players.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Listen,
you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
He's kind of jumped on and off the roller coaster. He comes in and they're horrible, and all of a sudden they're fantastic, and they pick up, and everything's great with Ole. And is history going to repeat itself? They go on this incredible run as well after the stop. And now they've started this season absolutely horrible. So I think this is more about, and we keep talking about Ole, because we're not really talking about the players. It's always, is Ole good enough? Is Ole not good enough? What's Ole going to do? How come Ole keeps getting a pass? Well, he's got himself at Man United in the right time, where the people upstairs are not quite sure what they're doing, and so he's getting a pass. Whenever there's a little bump in the road, he's got over it before, and he keeps getting a pass. Listen, Man United on paper are way better, and certainly on paper should be in the top four, and they were. But I tell you what, as far as putting performances together, we're back in the realms of we're not sure what we're going to get, but they're getting away with it.
And then you can understand, Dan, why Mourinho was so frustrated. Love him or loathe him, Marmite character, great CV, but he could see it. Let's be frank, Solskjaer's just happy to be there, right? He's won the lottery being manager in Manchester United, coming from where he was and what he achieved as a manager, right? So he was planted in there as an appeasement of the fans initially by the ownership in Ed Woodward, and it worked short term. But quite frankly, is he going to be banging his fist on the door and on the desk of Ed Woodward, demanding the finances are spread around on top quality players, going to the media and complaining about the club because they're not backing him? No, he's not. Would Ferguson sit back and take it? No. Would Klopp, would Guardiola, would the top coaches? No, they would not. But he's sitting there, he's taking it on the chin, he has a little growl now and again, bit of a soft soap. But at the end of the day, he's just happy to be in that job. But as I said all along, I don't think he's going to be in that job long term, and he's certainly not been helped by Ed Woodward, who at the moment is just running this place so shoddily from a football perspective. It's scary. They're miles behind City and Liverpool. You saw Man City in the first half yesterday. It was incredible. Okay, second half was a bit more tetchy for them. You've got to expect that. But they were incredible. And they had 6 or 7 players out injured. And we know what Liverpool can do. As for United, well, we're going to be signing Sancho, we're going to be signing this player, we're going to be signing that player. No. Absolutely diddly squat, apart from Donny van de Beek. For Manchester United, not good enough.
Yeah, Mark, just a few weeks ago, you broke the story that Manchester United were interested in Upamecano, who looks like a perfect fit for this side that needs some quality at the back. Why don't they just go out and get him?
Because United have got a reputation now, I think I've said this before, that they take forever to get a deal done. They prevaricate, they try to knock people down. Every club tries to haggle, but United go to the nth degree and it's so slow and they just don't get deals done. Upamecano had an escape clause which would have made him available for less than £50 million last month, and they missed out on the chance to get in then. So, you know, David Gill was in charge as chief executive at Man United for 10 years between 2003 and 2013. Ed Woodward is now approaching 8 years in the job, and we're still getting the story every year that, you know, we're trying to turn this ship around. It's going to take time. We need to get a process in place, get some DNA, the United way, whatever. 8 years. He's almost been there as long as David Gill, and they're still talking about trying to find a way to do things properly. There's no director of football. It's been 2 years since that was floated. No technical director, no nothing. It's really, really hard to find how they can move forward. I don't see any real plan other than they keep talking about younger players and finding the right fit for the club. But if they're going to get one every window, it's going to take forever. And clubs like Liverpool and Man City are going to pull further and further away. And the guys are right about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, nice guy, club legend, but, you know, when I saw his pre-match interview tonight, it felt like he was the reserve team manager talking about the reserve team. He doesn't look like a sort of manager that the players will, A, want to sign for, B, want to play for, and I still don't see what his plan is, what his way of playing is. You look at Klopp and Guardiola, you know what they bring to the team, what they bring to the club. There are some big managers out there that haven't got a club yet, Allegri, Pochettino, and I just think it's so wrong for United to pass up the opportunity while they're available.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.